Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally gotten to the last match that I had with 10 Viv Man right here. And as you can see, for the final match, we're actually going to be doing a U match. And as you can also see, our teams look fairly similar. You know, we each have Nidoking, Bronzong, and Blastoise. And then he just variates having 3 things weak to Stealth Rocks, while I variate having only 1 thing weak to Stealth Rocks, which is kind of nice, actually. Arguably, if I get up Stealth Rocks, I'm pretty set for this match, it looks like. So, he's going to lead off with Darmanitan, as I lead up with my Bronzong, and first turn Flare Blitz is actually, you know, too dangerous, so he is actually going to go for the first turn Flare Blitz, as I go ahead and switch into Blastoise. And I'm going to assume that he's, like, Choice. He's either Choice Scarf or Choice Band, and I'm guessing Choice Scarf because I feel like Choice Band would have done a lot more damage than that. And, well, I'm just going to go ahead and Scout and then get the burn on his, believe it or not, especially defensive Zapdos. Crit Burn, too strong, something along those lines. But yeah, so already starting off with a fairly somewhat haxy match, you know, already got that like, 3rd turn crit and burn, something like that. And now he's going to be going for hidden power of what I can assume grass. Maybe I guess he probably expected me to switch to Rhyperior to absorb it, like Discharge or Thunderbolt, whatever he happens to be carrying, because at this point I really don't know. But, you know, I figured Nidoking was probably the better choice, as I could fake a Choice Scarf more or less, as I am Life Orb and I go for the Ice Beam. And it still does plenty of damage, which should kind of give away the fact that I'm a Life Orb Nidoking, but it might not. So I'm going to bring in my Bronzong and his Bronzong, and I'm going to go ahead and set up the Stealth Rocks, as he is going to be forced to switch. And right here, basically, I kind of was messing with him. I was like, what if I was a Heat-Proof Bronzong? Because honestly, I have thought about running that before, since most people assume that Bronzong is just automatically Levitate, thus you could, you know, fake a Heat-Proof rather nicely. But I have never actually, I don't think I've ever actually done that, but it would be interesting. So if you guys ever decide to do that, just let me know and tell me how it goes, because it might actually be kind of interesting. So now he's going to bring in this Blastoise, as I go for the Hidden Power Ice to, you know, maybe do some nice damage on the Zapdos. And basically, yeah, unfortunately, he switched and he gets a crit on the Scout. I went ahead and stayed in because I don't think Bronzong's going to really need to use Gyro Ball that much. So if I get burned, it's not that huge of a deal, other than the fact that my leftovers won't be recovering my health. So that actually could be a big deal. Now right here, I am obviously going to switch into my Blastoise, as I expect him to go ahead and go for a Rapid Spin, which he actually does. And that's nice because I got my Blastoise in, and his Blastoise shouldn't threaten me unless it does have Toxic, which is always a possibility. But I don't actually think it does, because, you know, he just switches out right here, as I'm going to go for my Rapid Spin and go ahead and pretty much get rid of the rocks on my side, because I want Victini to come in with as much health as it can, because, you know, Choice Scarf Victini is kind of useful when it doesn't have to take too much Stealth Rock damage. So, yeah. Pretty much, I think it gets a little bit stally right here in the middle, just because we keep switching to more or less our walls, and he actually does go for the Heat Wave, I guess predicting the Bronzong to come in, which, had he hit, that probably would have done plenty of damage. I don't think I'd die, though, because I do have some special defensive investment, and he is especially defensive Zapdos, so he's not going to be doing that much damage. So right here I go for the Stealth Rocks, as he is going to switch out, probably expecting the Stealth Rocks, more or less. And right here, I am going to go ahead and switch into my Rhyperior, and Rhyperior takes a U-turn. And it's not really a big deal, because I'm a Rhyperior. Now, he's going to bring in Blastoise here, which is interesting. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why he actually did that, in all honesty. I guess he's trying to get the Rhyperior burnt, or more or less dead, because Rhyperior is actually going to be a big, I guess, key threat to his team, and he is going to Scald. I guess just, you know, trying to get rid of the Rhyperior. And basically, he doesn't get the burn again, which is interesting, because something a little bit later on, I think, in this match is just like, really, like, he can't get the burn, but this happens, blah, blah. I was actually right there, so I went for the Stealth Rocks again because I was trying to be a jerk. And figuring he would go for the Rapid Spin as I'm stuck in the Bronze Zone, I was going to go ahead and go for the Stealth Rocks. And right here, as you can see, he goes for the Earthquake, trying to test the theory of if I am actually a heat-proof Bronze Zone or not. Because if I was, then that would have been very bad. But yeah, I decided to go ahead and basically let my Blastoise get toxic. So both Blastoises are toxic at this point. Which is, you know, I don't know. Situational comedy? Situational comedy, I guess. But yeah, basically we're just kind of chilling, kind of relaxing. And I'm going to go ahead and switch here because I'm pretty sure he's going to go for the Rapid Spin. And he actually does go for the Rapid Spin, so I can, you know, pretty much keep getting up Stealth Rocks and stall him out of Toxic if I need to. So let's see how that goes. If I have to do this, do I have to do this? No, because basically he is going to go ahead and switch, knowing that I'll probably just stay and set up Stealth Rocks and all that. And so here comes the Stealth Rocks. And now he brings in Nidoking, which Nidoking, I don't know at this point if it's Scarfed or not. I'm going to assume it is. And he actually does go for the Earth Power, finding out that I was just, you know, messing with him the entire match about me possibly being heat-proof, which, you know, if I hadn't been heat-proof, that would have been bad, but oh well. So he does switch, so he's going to be a Life Orb Nidoking, much like my Nidoking, believe it or not. And I'm going to go for the Gyro Ball, and almost so close, comes very, very close to KOing. And I need my Stealth Rocker alive since his Blastoise is still alive. So I am going to bring in my Rhyperior. And if he has Ice Beam, this might be a little bit bad. Of course, Earth Power does do more damage, so he goes for the Earth Power, and thanks to Solid Rock and the fact that I have some special defensive investment, I am going to live. So Rhyperior did what it was supposed to, kind of survive a Nidoking attack and retaliate, which is fantastic. Gets rid of the Rhyperior, the Nidoking quite nicely, and Sucker Punch I feel like is a potentially obvious thing right here. But he goes for Superpower actually, which is okay. That, I guess that works too. So yeah, his defense is going to follow his attacks, just going to return to normal thanks to Moxie. And because his attack is just normal, basically I can pretty much threaten him out with my MienShao. MienShao is finally going to get some viewage in this battle, which actually from this point on MienShao actually becomes quite a common switch, and I believe it or not, you know. And yeah, gonna go ahead and U-turn as he brings in Bronze Zone. I actually do a somewhat decent chunk considering I U-turn to the Bronze Zone. And actually, he mentioned that he hates the MienShaos in UU. He does not like them. He thinks that it's just, you know, stupid and stuff. And not many people run Fake Out on MienShao anymore because, you know, Hidden Power Ice and Stone Edge is a better option, but I decided to run Fake Out, High Jump Kick, and Power Ice, and U-turn, as opposed to that just because, you know, I have Rhyperior, and not much in UU actually needs to have to take a Stone Edge hit, because most of the other stuff can be KO'd. I think the only thing that needs to take a Stone Edge hit is Zapdos, and that's only if you don't have an Ice type. So I am going to Roar, as he is going to switch. At least I believe he's going to switch. If he didn't switch, I just, you know, got off a free Roar regardless, because he can't do anything to me. And so Bronze Zone is brought back in, and basically, you know, if I have to, I can Rapid Spin the rocks away, which I'm going to clearly do, because why not? And he is going to go for the Earthquake right here. It does absolutely nothing because, you know, Bronze Zone is burned, so Blastoise can take hits all day, every day at this point, and basically I'm going to go ahead and kill off the Bronze Zone. He's just going to let it die, and now because the Stealth Rocker is going to be gone, I don't need to keep my Blastoise anymore, so it's a good thing my Blastoise is going to die rather quickly now. As you can see, the toxic damage finished me off. So now I don't really need to Rapid Spin anything, and I'm figuring he's probably going to bring in his Blastoise, trying to see if he has a chance to go ahead and Rapid Spin, and I'm going to just bring in my MienShao and, you know, Fake Out. And for whatever reason, I'm going to be deathly afraid that he actually has the Protect, so I want to go ahead and go for a U-turn. And it also brings my health pretty much all the way back up regardless, so it doesn't really matter. So now, here we go. Time to bring in Rhyperior and try to sack this thing off his death fodder. So basically, yeah, I knew he was going to bring in Zapdos, and my computer decided to just, like, you know, randomly go to screensaver mode. But it's all good, because, you know, I noticed it quickly enough. So, like I said, he is going to bring in Zapdos, just kill the Rhyperior, and it's all good. I don't really care, because now Rhyperior has done what it needs to. Right here, for whatever reason, I'm definitely afraid the Bolt Strike is going to miss, because that would just be my luck, and that actually probably would screw me over a little bit. But here I find out he's a especially defensive Zapdos. I probably honestly should have just gone for the Bolt Strike and risked it, but I was really worried that it would miss, and thus it just wouldn't be good. So I'm going to bring in Nidoking here as he goes for the Roost, and this thing, unfortunately, is going to be specially defensive. So I think it can actually take a Nidoking hit if it has to. Unfortunately, enough for me. I don't know. It's actually questionable. So I go for the Ice Beam, and yeah, as you can see, Nidoking is pretty powerful with Life Orb. And at that point, it does KO the Nidoking. So now, right here, I am going to go ahead and switch into my Victini to take the Flare Blitz hit and pretty much wear down the Darmanitan. That is my primary concern, because now that my Victini got paralyzed, unfortunately, I'm not faster than Darmanitan, and thus I probably can't KO it. But it's not a big deal. Now I've weakened the Darmanitan enough to go ahead and go for Fake Out, and then switch into Nidoking, and then basically, you know, Fake Out again if I have to get rid of the Darmanitan. So pretty much, yeah, as you can see, the battle is wrapping up nicely here. I do die to Flare Blitz, as the Darmanitan does die to Recoil. And now, basically, MienShao gets to come in and, you know, basically Fake Out and finish it off with a High Jump Kick or a Hidden Power Ice. Because Hidden Power Ice doesn't have the chance to miss, and I know that this would be a key moment when High Jump Kick would have missed. But it doesn't really matter, because he gives himself to Life Orb. So I was getting up with Hidden Power Ice just because I was afraid High Jump Kick was going to miss, because that's kind of my luck sometimes in Pokemon. Like, I'm going to win and then I miss an attack and bam, my opponent went for Brave Bird because they thought they were dead or something. So that's going to be the match. Hope you guys enjoyed, and as I did mention, this is the last match that I've had with 10 Viv Man recently. And actually, I need to get some more matches out, so I'll let you know when I get more matches. See you guys later.